Good news, Ultra Rumble enjoyers. It's been announced that the devs have been listening to feedback, and a lot of people are hoping that means balance changes are coming for certain characters. But till that happens, I want to help you guys beat the beam team of Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki. We'll go over things that everyone can do, characters that hard counter them, attack plans, and my personal lineup I call the anti-meta formation that will annoy and frustrate the left click and right trigger boys to no end. The first thing I notice a lot of people fail to do is use the dodge roll. This is a very useful input against any projectile attacks in the game, especially against the big three. What you want to do is look them in the eye and dare them to hit you while you roll either to the left or to the right. You want to mix it up so you're not too predictable. Once you notice that they're not shooting back, it will most likely mean that their attacks are on cooldown, and you can strike at this opportunity. If you're really gaming, then you can count their attacks. Both Deku and Todoroki start off with 8 rounds and can have a max of 10 by leveling up their abilities. Bakugo starts off with 6 and has a max of 8 rounds. Just be aware that they can recharge them pretty quick, so your window of opportunity won't be that long if they don't use all their ammo. This info is good in 1v1 situations, but this game doesn't have a solos or duos mode. This tactic can be rough when going against multiple beamers aiming at you, which will happen since the current meta guarantees multiple Bakugos, Dekus, and Shotos in a lobby. So always be aware of your surroundings and pick your opportunities carefully. But if you tie this tactic with certain character abilities, then you can possibly outplay all of them with your team's help. And teamwork is very important. To take down the beam team, you will need to commit all your efforts on just one because each of the big three have crazy mobility to run away and heal up. This is the priority list I would use when telling my teams who to focus on first. I put Deku at the top of the list because he has less mobility and CC versus the other two, which makes him easier to take out. However, the main reason why you want to finish Deku off first is because he can instantly revive people. You don't want to commit too many of your abilities on a character like Bakugo just to have Deku swoop in and revive them in an instant, or carry them far away, basically negating all your efforts. Next will be Bakugo because of his high damage output. It's very dangerous. I've seen Bakugo's 1v3 hold teams with ease because of his kit. However, dodging his alpha ability is the easiest among the three in my opinion. He also has crazy mobility, so you don't want to worry about him just running away once he gets low. Todoroki is last because his damage isn't as high as the other two. Just be aware of his freezing CC. If you get caught in it, then your days are truly numbered. Next, we'll talk about the characters that counter the big three's alpha abilities and can frustrate them the most. First is Momo. The best part about her kit when dealing with long rangers is that she can close the gap without taking damage when using her beta ability, which can do massive damage if landed properly. It's also good for kiting people at mid-range too. When she is in range, she can deal decent damage with her alpha ability and melee attack, which ends with a projectile being thrown. Her Gamma ability is great for targeting those who like to camp in high places to get easy snipes on people down below. Kendo is another character that has a shield that can frustrate long-range characters even more since its duration lasts longer than most abilities. She lacks mobility, which makes closing the gap hard, but if you can get in range, her Gamma ability can deal massive damage and turn the tables in any engagement. If you do play Kendo, it's best to use her shield with teammates that have more range because they can shoot through her shield while it's up and not worry too much about the person in front of them. Mr. Compress might be one of the best characters to go against the current meta. Like the other two, he has a shield that can burn through opponents' ability charges. It can also fire back attacks if your timing is good. His alpha ability gives him an opportunity to fight at mid and kind of long range against characters too. Next is All Might, who lacks a traditional shield, but his Gamma ability can reflect attacks and has a bit of mobility to close the gap as well. And if that's not enough movement for you, then you can use his special, which might be the best special movement ability in the game since its cooldown is so short. The long leaps give you a chance to disengage from fights or take them on. I don't know if I should put All Might on this list since he could be seen as a sniper. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being meta too. However, if he does, best believe I'll be providing guides on how to counter his setup as well. Cementos is another character great for dealing against the current meta. All his abilities can be a thorn in anyone's backside by creating walls and blocking line of sight, as well as providing cover for you and your teammates. Just be aware that Bakugo can shoot through his structures and deal damage in the process. His instant revive with his special is great as well. Lastly, we can talk about Dabi, whose Gamma blocks all projectiles. He himself can shoot through them. He lacks movement though. Also, I'm not too sure if this is a bug or not, but I noticed sometimes his landmines blocks some of Deku's shockwaves, which can be helpful too. This is my ideal anti-meta lineup of Momo, Compress, and Suya. All of these characters have abilities that can support the team as well as amazing movement options. I added Suya because her instant revive may come in handy, as well as her strong alpha and beta abilities. Both Compress and Momo have long range attacks of their own, as well as a shield that can negate a sniper's strongest ability. This team sustain can be the bane of anyone's day. However, it may take time learning how to play these characters properly. But if you're up for the challenge, then I can see you being rewarded for it greatly. Also, this is just my opinion. Nothing is set in stone with Ultra Rumble. You can win engagements with any characters as long as you have a good game plan and execution. Feel free to give out tips and advice to other people in the comments so we can help each other realize that this game is full of amazing characters who can hold their own. Also remember, no matter how annoying or tilting things can be, it's just temporary. Just say GG go next and leave the negativity behind if you can't learn from it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.